Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Valencia. I hope you're all doing well. Today we've got the final ever episode well, I say final, it may return if we carry it over on Twitch and we decide to bring the season reviews, but certainly one for a while. The final episode of Valencia. It's the end of season review 21-22. A pretty great season, if I do say so myself. Invincible in the league, as well as winning the Champions League and the Spanish Super Cup. One that I did not expect to be as successful as it was. The original plan of this series was a 5-year plan, 5 years to win a treble, and we did it win the second season, which was quite a shock. Let's have a look who we brought in for this season then. There's quite a lot of faces then who did indeed join us at the beginning of the season, looking to strengthen our squad. A lot of them were signed in the season before. We'll start off with the very first person who made the most appearances, 50 appearances nearly, in all competitions, with an average rating of 7.14, was Gianluigi Donnarumma, the 23-year-old goalkeeper. We signed him on a free from Milan. I think an all-round great signing. Picked him up on a free after his contract expired. Then Fofana, the man who we wouldn't have even got to the final if it weren't for this loan deal. Just 1.5 million in the loan deal, 7 goals for a centre-back and 1 assist is quite a good return with a 7.22 average rating from Leicester. The third is Sergio Gomez. He was brought in the January of the season prior. 18 goal contributions in 36 games, a goal contribution every other start at least, with a 7.15. We also brought in Javier Elliott, who, again, for a 19-year-old, 36 starts, 6 off the bench. A loan deal that was 108,000 total outgoing. Not a great average rating, but 19 contributions to goals in all competitions is a pretty stellar return. Anthony Rudiger was brought in. I mean, he didn't really feature a lot, as you can see. Well, 32 games he appeared for us this season. He was probably not the best signing, but we did lose our key. Both of our centre-backs wanted to leave. We did lose Dicabi, and then obviously Paulista wanted to leave. Next is Jerome Aguirre, who I think was fantastic. We signed him, I believe we signed him in January from FC Red Bull Salzburg. We made 16 appearances in all competitions, 4 goals, 1 assist, and a 7.18 average rating. For £13 million, if we just look at his stats, £13 million, and look at those attributes, absolutely amazing. Notably 17 bravery, 17 determination. You've got 16 balance for natural fitness, strength. You've got 15 for tackling. Just amazing attributes, and probably only 10 attributes below 12 there. Just an all-round fantastic player, as well as only being 24. You can see he's already worth almost triple his valuation, or triple what we paid for him. Milik then, we picked him up for just under 4 million. 8 goal contributions in 13 starts, 12 off the bench. Not great, but he is going to probably likely move on in the summer. Pretty unspectacular signing, but not the end of the world. Next up was Sebastiano Esposito, who probably took the role that we expected Milik to have in coming off the bench and grabbing goals. You can see 20 goal contributions, including 14 goals and 11 starts. He was brilliant, and we all know how good Sebastiano Esposito is. I might look to pick him up. He's valued at 6.5 million. I may well look to pick him up and keep him around if I continue to save. Next up, we've got William Saliba. Again, he was brought in just as defensive cover. He didn't really appear too much, and we're not going to pay much attention. Karius, we know we signed him on a pre-contract. And then the rest, the other 3, are all regens, new gens, and players that didn't really feature for the first team at all, as you can see. Only one of them made a bench appearance, and that was Adri Herrera. The outgoings then, Dicabi was the big notable one. Obviously, he left without us having any say over the matter. We lost him for 35 million to Arsenal. He went on to have quite a good season for Arsenal. It's a shame, he was quite good for us in the season we had him, but I think his replacement in a little bit younger, picked up for just a fraction of what we paid. We got for Dicabi, so I think quite an all-round good bit of business. We also lost Daniel West to Milan. Aguilo Cheryshev, obviously he was quite good for us last year, left to Leganes. He had an alright season. Yaya Toure left. Jasper Cillessen left to Fenerbahce for 11 million. We've got players, who else have we got? We've got one more. Vallejo left to Brighton for 12.5 million. Pretty alright transfer business. I think none of them had particularly spectacular seasons there. You can see then it was a season to remember. We did finish first in the league, invincible as well. You can see we started off really strongly with a lot of high scoring games, beat Atletico 4-2, and we beat Real Madrid 2-0 at home quite early on in the season. And 1-1 draw with Barca made it look like the season would become tricky, But again, 1-1 draw against Atleti, 1-1 draw against Barca at Madrid, and then a 1-0 win at Barca towards the end of the season allowed us probably those three teams won, so it would stop us from going invincible. You can see that we were 20 points ahead of Real Madrid in second place. We were only expected to finish in the top 4, and Maxi Gomez was our top scorer with 17 goals. Club of the Champions, we have not taken part in that yet. That is in over the summer. I might bring a one-off episode, or we might stream that, I think. We'll see. Champions League, obviously we know we won that 4-1 in the final. After a difficult start against Liverpool, losing 4-1, we then went on to dominate, only losing probably all the way up until the semi-final before we hit a real low roadblock against Juve. That was probably the only time we actually looked like we'd struggle. But other than that, a really good season. Guedes getting the top scorer in the competition for us with 6 goals. Obviously he scored 2 of them in the final. The Spanish Cup was one that was a little bit disappointing. We were knocked out on penalties to Sabadell in the Spanish third league, I believe they are, which was a bit of a disappointment, to be quite honest. We hope to win that, retain it from last season, but 2 goals from Esposito was not enough to send us through after capitulation from our youth team. But we did win the Spanish Super Cup, stealing our treble with a 3-2 win over Barcelona in the final, after going 3-1 up in the final, and before they clawed goals back. It was quite a good performance earlier on in the year. Moments to remember then, obviously the 8-0 win in the Champions League over Charleroi, with being 6-0 up at half-time. It was quite the impressive performance. 3-2 win over Tottenham Hotspur in the home leg. Obviously we pretty much guaranteed qualification in the first leg, which we won 4-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, before they managed to stage a bit of we went 7-0 up on aggregate in the end, before eventually them getting 2 goals back in the last 20 minutes. And then the goal of the season was Harvey Elliott. We'll have a look at that. Harvey Elliott against Vigo earlier in the season. I think I can remember this as being quite the screamer. If we have a look at it, just for old time's sake. So I do quite remember this actually. Maxi Gomez found Harvey Elliott in the middle of the pitch, you can see, and he just takes one touch before letting fly, and it flew like a rocket from well over 30 yards just 10 minutes in. He really did start the season off excellently, did the young Englishman. The finances, and obviously that's one of the things about Valencia that makes it quite difficult of a challenge, is the finances. Their debt is insane, but you can see we've brought in a lot more broadcast revenue, almost 50 million more, in fact over 50 million, nearly 60 million extra in broadcast revenue this season, nearly $1 million extra in corporate hospitality, a lot more in competition prize money. Last season was just 500k, this year 90 million, just shy of, and almost added $1 million to our matchday income and retail. The shirts sold then: Maxi Gomez, Guedes, Donnarumma, probably not so bad. Milik is quite a shock, and Lee Kang-in, the young Korean, had a fantastic season for us. And you can see our reputation has become has gone up from 4.5 stars to 5 stars. We did lose a bit of sponsorship money this year, which is a bit unusual, but not the end of the world. And there is the team that we lined up with the most, apparently. Well, these were the most important players to our season in terms of average rating. This isn't our best 11. We'll look at our best 11 in just a moment. We've got players like Donnarumma in goal, who you can see 49 games, 7.14 average rating. Jose Gaya, who's by far our standout performer, with a 7.5. He had an absolute insane season. 25 goal contributions in 46 games, 20 assists from the left back. We have Paulista, who played a pretty low-key role in comparison to last season, just 18 starts and 8 substitute appearances. Fofana had a much bigger impact, 40 games with 1 goal, 1 assist and 7 goals. Carreira as well, the young Portuguese player, has definitely improved, 23 years old now, and 12 goals and assists, or 12 assists and goals in 43 games, a pretty good return. We played Musa and Sergio Gomez. Our midfield definitely rotated the most, especially those 2 centre midfield positions. So we've got Musa and Sergio Gomez in there, some quite good contributions from them too. Harvey Elliott, again, we spoke about him earlier. Lee Kang-in, as you can see, a 7 average rating from I think he's 21 years old? Yes, 21 South Korean. You can see his attributes. He's very, very good there. Valued at 57 million. And he did fill in that number 10 hole for a lot of the season. Guedes, obviously 21 goals, one of our top scorers. And then Esposito, again, having quite a good season. And you can see that I won Manager of the Month 4 times in September, October, January and February, as well as the Spanish League Manager of the Year. The player awards then for the club. Jose Guy got Fans Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season went to Fofana, Signing of the Season went to Donnarumma, and the Goal of the Season to Harvey Elliott. Top goal scorer in the league was Maxi Gomez with 17 strikes, 17 assists in the league from Jose Gaya, as well as 7 player of the matches, and the highest average rating is 7.6. And the record breakers were Thierry Curator with the worst discipline with 11 yellow cards and 1 red, and 23 assists. And then Donnarumma with 23 clean sheets. You can see I'm actually only 23 in the game. I'm only just a couple months older than our right back. I put in my real date of birth apparently. History in the making then. Valencia have been brilliant since day one. Their early season pre-football was a joy to watch, and they are deserved champions, says Lovemore Cabatho from The Athletic. A treble of the Spanish First Division, the Champions League and the Spanish Super Cup. And once Valencia got rolling early in the season, it looked hard to stop them going on to the success, says Enrique Jimenez from the Spanish Football Post. It really was a season of memories. As you can see, if I go look at the competitions, go to the league, you can see if I have a look at past positions, we went top on match day 4 and we stayed there all the way to the end. An absolutely incredible achievement from this young group of players. As for what comes next then, this series will move over to Twitch for a short time before we eventually go back to our Moneyball. That'll come over to Twitch, and then obviously our West Derby Warriors save, which starts tomorrow, so do drop a like if you're excited to see that. But other than that then, I hope you enjoyed this little season wrap-up, season review. And don't forget to check those links in the description. Hit like, hit subscribe, click the notification bell so you're notified when new videos go live every day at 12 PM. And other than that then, I'll see you next time.